Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is the 2nd of February, because it's Groundhog Day. So happy Groundhog Day. I forgot to write that at the top of my paper the other day. It's just getting light here. I haven't heard this morning if Phil saw his shadow this morning. So hello to Phil and all my Ponce friends. I'm hoping that it's time for spring, but who knows? We'll just see how that goes, right? But I'm ready. I am more than ready. I've been thinking about being outside and planting seeds, but of course here usually our worst weather comes in February. So I know there have been years that we've delivered Valentine's flowers when there was ice on the ground. So we can always hope it's not this year. We had a good week. We had a lot of fun at school. Yesterday was kind of an adventure. One of the little girls who usually does really well, usually doesn't get upset when she gets dropped off. And I took her bag and I said, give Grandma a hug. And she gave her a hug and then turned around to come in and then turned back around and fell to pieces and tried to run after her. And so I picked her up. She was crying, kicking and screaming. I mean, tears. Y'all, she was really upset. And her grandma is from Thailand, and she calls her Gunyai. Gunyai is what she calls her. And she was just crying and Gunyai, and it was so pitiful. And you can't, of course, our first obligation is always to their safety. And so I held her and I took her away from the door and sit down until one of the, we have a couple of ladies that are lead ladies, like the bosses, and they set up at a table up front. And then there is a police officer on past there at the gate, and there are other greeters also. It's very safe setup, but still, there is no NFL football player that can stop a 3-year-old on a mission. I don't care who you are. If they get out of your hands and they want to go, they're gone. And so Laura came in there and said, you can set her down now and I'll block the door and not let her get out. So we were quite a distance away from the door because, of course, other parents are still dropping off. So Brittany is still, bringing other kids into the room. And so I sat her down, and she's just bawling. And so I said, Gianna, take a big breath for me. And, let's, your friend James will be here and we're going to go to chapel, and you love to sing and dance in chapel. And then we're going to go to the playground. And I mean, she was just so upset, and she just usually does great. But then her mom came. Of course, we sent her mom a note, let her know. And then we sent her a note a little bit, show her that she was okay. She was in chapel and she went up on the stage and was helping Miss Laura and them dance and everything. But this being said to say, y'all, there are days when we all have days, whether you're a little kid or a big kid. And so sometimes when you have those days, give yourself a little bit of grace and give other people a little bit of grace, because whether you're a big kid or a little kid, sometimes you have those days that you are just genuinely upset. When Mom came to pick her up, we discovered that she had played much longer and more physically in the evening. She had physically played outside later because the weather here has been so nice finally. And with other kids. And so we think she was just exhausted. She was just tired. She did sleep all the way through nap time. And so I think she was just exhausted. The rest of the day she was fine. She was fine when her mom picked her up. But bless her heart, she just was having a morning, and we all have those. So this to say, if you're having one of those or you see somebody having those, just kind of know that sometimes, things just get away from us. Sometimes, especially at 3-year-olds and then as early teenagers, if you read studies on them, they have a lot of emotion they can't express. I think that's why teenagers have so much angst, and they're so, and all those sounds. They make those sounds and they get aggravated and they seem just all the time because they have a lot of feelings they're not used to, they don't know how to deal with, and they definitely don't know how to express. And so, you know, if that happens, you know, this week, just, or anytime, just be nice. Hi, Patty. Did you want to say hi? Look here. Hi, Patty. Look at the camera, Patty. Oh, there you go. Say hi. Say hi. Kimmy can see you. Her mom will show you later. So I did get a good bit of stitching done. I mainly focused on two things because I wanted to get, I made myself stop, and so I'd get a finish because I was getting close, but it was gonna be hard. So we'll go to my finish first. My finish, I finished my AM 1918 sampler. I didn't get it framed yet. I didn't go get a frame. It's by Mrs. Flossy. I'm fixing to show you the cover pic, and then you can see the difference. And it is a reproduction. Miss Amy, hey Amy, made it, and it is a reproduction. Let's see here. Here is, I'm gonna hold up both of these because one's a close-up and one's her beautiful cover. So here are the covers. This is how they were reproduced and how Amy stitched them, how they were stitched initially. I did make some changes. Not huge things, but because I wanted it to fit for what I needed it. So without further ado, this is my Uncle Davy sampler. And I've got to call my aunt and uncle and some of my older cousins and see if there's anything they want to jog my brain that I should put on the back, because I'm putting it in the back. So this is my, I don't know, at women they call old maids, which I don't know. I think they should call them maybe geniuses. So, I don't know. This is the male genius one of the male geniuses who never got married, right? Because if you never get married, you get to have your way all the time, okay? So don't come at me with, oh, no. If you never get married, you get to have your way 100% of the time. And you know, on some level, that is genius. I don't care who you are. It's great to get your way. And if you're single, you get your way all the time. Cheers. To all those people, I would not be in that boat. So, but here it is. Without further ado, I've got the year that I stitched it in my initials here. And then you can see it's all in one thread over two, except the border. And then the DL here, the D and the L here. And then I added a W. There wasn't a W in it, but I wanted to get my DLW in the double threads. His name was David Livingston Carter. And you can see here I did an over one, my Uncle Davy. And he was born August 1st, 1889. And he died the 25th of November, 1976. So I was 9. So I knew him for a long time before he passed away. But I had to, I kind of pushed everything this way. I should have given myself another space or two here that I had, but I needed some kind of distance. So these last two are kind of squeezed in. And then I had to cut into this a little bit into my checkerboard to get his whole name in there. But I always thought it was such a great name. And I don't know why. I don't know that anybody else that I know of in our family has been named Livingston. So I don't know if that was some of his and Mammy's mother's family. They came from Alabama, also like my granny. But I think they were kind of more well off. I think somebody kin to her, somebody told me one time was one of the governors of Alabama or something. I don't know. But so Livingston, I mean, that's just a nice name, Livingston. Of course, it makes me think of Dr. Livingston, I presume. So, you know, maybe it was just because there was all that, you know, going on around those times. Everybody was fascinated with the continent of Africa, which they should still be because it is so many cool things there. But I love it. It is on a piece count of mystery linen. I'm guessing 32 count. I don't think it's 36. I could be wrong. But as you can see, it was just a piece I had that it just fit right in. So I will go find a frame for it today. I'll have Cat. He should be here in a little bit. I don't know if he'll get here before I get finished or not. But he and I will probably run over and see Mama. I saw her on Saturday and see her and maybe see if we can run around, look for a frame for this and get her out a little bit. It's supposed to rain, and if it is, I probably won't be able to get her out. She won't want to come. She don't like to go out if it's raining. People like me never have to worry. Salt always goes back to its original form, right? However, my mama does not believe that she is made of salt. She believes she is made of sugar and that she will melt if she goes outside in the rain and never be okay again. She has been that way as long as I can remember. But I do love it. I thank you, Amy, so much for sending it. Now I will start working on NJ Mason from Frankie at A Wicked Stepmother on Etsy. She's sent me one to stitch, which I do have my iPad that I'll show you in a minute. Maybe we'll get to talk about it. But I love that it is finished and that he will be remembered. So I will frame him. I will write on the back the name of the design and who designed it and all this. And then I will write some more particulars about Uncle Davy, that he always lived with Mammy and Paul, that he was kind of crippled and had issues because he was kicked by a horse when he was little. Of course, I don't know how. Back then, you know, when CJ had a brain injury, we were lucky enough to have so many good doctors. I don't know how in the world you make it past back then. But there is the name again, so you can see AM 1918 sampler, and it is by Mrs. Flossy. Where is that? Why can't I see that? Oh, because it's on the next page. Holy moly. I can see it from the back. Mrs. Flossy on Etsy, and it's the AM 1918 sampler. And it is gorgeous. So I encourage y'all to go get it and stitch it. And if, especially if you're a new sampler stitcher, it's not, as you can see, it's not that big. So it would be a great one to start on and see if you like it. To me, once you start stitching samplers, it's hard to ever stop. I love them. Of course, I'm always a little ABC obsessed. I love my ABCs and letters, and I love doing them at school. I love doing my sign language, my Spanish. I love anything to do with letters and words. As long as you don't come at me with any numbers, we're good. I don't like messing with numbers. Numbers are not okay for me. Numbers are not trustworthy. I can't trust a number. Now, I got just a little bit done on my Christmas rules, which I'm going to say this when I think about. Kathy let me know that if you go to Primrose Cottage Stitches, their January 31st episode, they're showing their releases for Nashville Market this year. And one of them is the 4th of July rules. And it is so cute. It is adorable. So I will definitely be stitching that. I'm working on Christmas rules now. It is so cute. I'm down at Build a Snowman. And like I said, I didn't work on it a ton because I was trying to finish up. And y'all, over one takes a while. Over one is just a little slower than stitching regular. I don't know why, but it is. To me, it seems like it shouldn't be because you're just going over one. You're not having to count. You're not having to, but it's a little tedious. So it did take me a good amount, and also because it's not charted. Now, if I was a smart person, I would probably chart it, okay? I would probably get out my graph paper, which I own, and a pencil, and graph it out. But I really am more that person who just, you know, does it. That's me. I'm not saying that's the right way to do it. Please don't take that way, because it ain't. If you have the tools and you choose not to use them, I don't know, you're just lazy or special. I don't know I don't know why, but I just don't. I just tend to just go with it. So, I was at Build Snowman right here, and I had my bee. Did I have part of the bee done, maybe? No? Maybe a little bit of the bee done, I think, last week. Right there. On Build a Snowman. So, I got my words done. Build a Snowman. I got my words finished. There we go. And it is still dark outside, y'all. Here, it's not light yet, so the light in here is not great today, even with every light I have on. So Christmas rules, deck the halls, drink hot chocolate, hang your stocking, I build a snowman, and then I just have spread joy, go sledding, and believe. So I am definitely getting on down there. It is just the cutest thing though. I'll display it on one of my little shutters, like my Little House ABCs for the seasons. Let's see, where am I? I just finished under like 185, and there's 300 lines of stitching. So that's not quite 2/3, but it's close. So I'm close to 2/3 of the way done. I'm loving every stitch. And of course, if y'all look, they also have quilting things. So in their pictures, there's always some kind of a beautiful quilt, like taunting you in the background. So you get, when you look at one of their patterns, you get like double cuteness, in my opinion. And of course, they're so cute and funny also. They're adorable to watch. So if you get a chance, you can jump on over there. Also, talking about watching, if anybody has time, jump over to Stitchin' Scotty. She's trying to reach another goal on her channel. Dottie is Stitchin' Scotty because she has 2 adorable little Scotty dogs. And she says she doesn't get to watch much games, so she teaches piano, so she teaches in the evening most of the time. So she didn't have that game show noise we were talking about last week. And yes, Leslie, the Nabs babies are the sweetest things. They are so precious. They are just so precious. And we were talking to them about Groundhog Day yesterday, and they were working on saying Punxsutawney Phil. And one of them, the one that reminds me so much of my oldest, he could get Punxsutawney, but by the time he had used all his little planning power to say, because remember, they're just 3, Punxsutawney, then Phil came out as Teal. So he would get Punxsutawney Teal every time. But he could get Punxsutawney, but they were fascinated. We had we had a book about it that Miss Laura had, and we all kind of shared it around with the older classes that talked about, I think it was the Groundhog Weather School was the name of it. It's an adorable book. And then she had taken and downloaded some things that showed how their burrows looked. And the kids thought it was fascinating that they had a snack room and a bathroom in their little burrows. And of course, one of the kids said, but what do they do for a refrigerator? If they had a snack room, they couldn't understand why they didn't have a refrigerator in the snack room. And it makes sense. I mean, we are Americans, and we ain't want no drink without ice, right? So what are you doing? What are you doing in that fridge if you ain't got no refrigerator, okay? We can get so tickled at the things that they think about. And I don't know why, y'all, but when I keep leaning back here, it looks like I have a black eye on this side, but I don't. I just have big bags because it's so early in the morning. Because I jumped up and woke up when James Williams was getting ready to leave, so I could try to get filmed, or mostly filmed before Catch gets here, because he, like I said, he's just 2, and so I've never filmed. I filmed with him and the girls here, but of course, Kimi could tell me if anything was awry, or Aria, either one could come and tell me if anything was really going on. And they would play, they'd play with him while he was here. So with him being here by himself, I was not, I'm just not too sure about that. And, okay, Lois, I want to know what state y'all are in. Because in Texas, that's where, y'all know I'm in Texas. And there was dorms above the like the farm barn. So there was a dairy, there was a cow barn, and there's a pig barn, and like a sheep barn, and like this. And so then there was the dorms up above these big giant metal barns. Y'all, they're giant. When I say giant, they're giant. But Lois said that her husband did the same thing when he showed hogs. So I was just wondering what state you're in, Lois. So let me know, because that got me thinking. I wonder if every state, the state fair had dorms for people back in the day, you know, when they came a long way to show. So I'm just curious about that. Okay, then we'll get back to some other things. I'm going to go on to, no, I did not work on you this week. I grabbed you accidentally. That Santa's not tree. He did not get any love this week while I was trying to work on finishing up my AM 1918. And then most of the other work got done on, and I don't think you fit on here, do you? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. I might could get you on here. Okay. This, I worked on Miss Sarah Lockhart. And it is the second one of my relatives that never got married. And then I'll just have one to do for Hewitt, which I did happen to think I can call my Uncle Tommy. He might remember why. Maybe he remembers why everybody called him Hewitt instead of Howard, because his name was Howard. But I happen to think maybe my Uncle Tommy will know. Maybe he remembers. So I'm going to try to check in with him. I need to check on him anyway. I'm the worst. I cannot keep all my checking on folks that I need to do checked up on. Let's see. Okay, so, and I did get a little bit of over one done on this one. But I love the way this is turning out. So this is by Just Stitching Along. Hey, Krista. By Krista Gramer. It is a reproduction. I think, she said they think it may be Scottish, but they can't really tell. Sometimes it is really hard to tell. And so she said just because the colors and things, they think it may be, she thinks it may be a Scottish sampler. But it is so beautiful. Y'all know I was scared to try to switch my alphabets. And I like a solid color alphabet anyway, but on some of it, but I did get it done on my four-sided stitch, like those square stitches. So I did not start on my eyelet stitches yet. Okay, but I jumped on down here. I can't remember where I was last week. And I got Nova Marbury. She did not have a middle name. Her or my mama, neither one. She was Nova and my mama was Neva. And they neither one had a middle name at all. She was Nova Marbury. She was my Amy. And she was born on the 30th of April. Is that 1909? Yes. And so then I've got this first little flower. So I have to do my eyelet stitches, big eyelet letters here, and then just finish the design down here at the bottom. I think it is gorgeous. It's not huge either. Where did I see? 91 by 123. And all Krista's are really good. She gives you kind of the size if you use this linen or that linen. And she always gives you the story behind it. So I love that about these, but all I have left to do is the little scene at the bottom there and my eyelet letters. So I'm hoping to have a finish for y'all next week on this one. And I love it. It has been so fun to stitch. I thought it's on a piece of 32 count vintage country mocha is what this one is stitched on. And it is using all my Wicked Stepmother colors, which you don't see a lot of them yet. Right now we're just mainly in the 2-color section, but well, I guess it's 4 colors because it's 2 greens and 2 reds. But I've got Jolene, Strawberry Shortcake, Gypsy Queen. I love that brown. Harvest Moon, Green River. Oh, this one's backwards. Woolly Swamp. Frankie let me name that one. Y'all know I love that song by Charlie Daniels. Blue Moon. And then here's Frankie's card. And you can see the name of her Etsy shop right up there at the top. So I have just enjoyed the heck out of this piece. I'm going to be a little bit sad when it's finished. I'm gonna miss her because I just love these colors. When I put this blue in down here, it's just gonna, bam, it's just gonna be fabulous for me. Love it, absolutely love it. So hopefully next week I will have a finish for y'all on my Miss Sarah Lockhart by Just Stitching Along. She is available as a PDF download, if I'm not mistaken also. So some of y'all that are, you know, off the continent, and it's hard to get, it costs a lot to get things shipped, and sometimes they still don't get there. The PDF is available on nearly all of Krista's things, I think. And I think Amy's are the same way, both of those. I will say that, where am I at here? AM 1918 is Ada friendly, and so is Miss Sarah Lockhart. You just would leave off the little birds and you would make these eyelets, Smyrnas, which I did this here so you can see in the picture here, these are all eyelet stitches, the letters and the line. But I did my line in Smyrnas so you can see that it works out just the same and looks just the same. This line here is over a full cross, these little arrows, so it would work. So the only thing you're gonna have to change is the eyelets you'll do as Smyrnas, and then the little birds, these 2 little tiny birds right here, and the 1845 right there is over 1. So the 1845 there, and then those 2 little birds, the blue birds, you would just leave off. Other than that, you can do everything on Ada for her. So she is 100% Ada friendly, because those things are just really small, minor things. Oh, this, I was like, oh no, what happened here? Christmas Rules is Ada friendly also. I don't know if I said that. Let's see here. I believe I didn't see anything on here that would keep you, and it may even be stitched on Ada. Let's look. It's stitched on Ada. So Christmas Rules is Ada friendly also. So I try to remember to say that, y'all, and if I don't, holler at me. Okay, Jenny, I don't know if my clocks have gone off yet while we've been stitching and talking here, but yes, my son-in-law, my clocks, he doesn't like sounds either, and my clocks kill him. They drive him nuts when he's here. But for some reason, I don't, and I think it's because, I think the difference is, I'm here long enough that they don't bother me. I don't hear them as sudden, unknown noises, right? For me, they're just part of my background sounds. So unlike on like the Price is Right, and if you go to Arcade, which I don't know if they have those anymore, but if you go to like when they used to have the arcade party, Chuck E. Cheese, or what is the thing people go play at? It's not Ben and Jerry's, but it's a double name like that. Somebody's and Somebody's. Dave and Buster's. I've only walked in that place one time. I've never been in there. But the sounds just, it's too much for me. It is Too much for me. I need some headphones. I need some headphones if I'm gonna have to go stay in there because it is too much. Too much. So, my Miss Sarah Lockhart will be a finish probably next week. I should have her finished for y'all. And then I'm gonna miss her. And then I have some slots, you know, to fill. I've got NJ Mason from Frankie and Rhonda, the Wicked Stepmother. Hey, Frankie. Hey, Rhonda. Let's see here. I know I saved a picture of it in here. It's also another small sampler. Right here. It is so cute. I don't know, it's a there we go. So you can see it is adorable. It's in green, pinks, and reds. I'll use the same color palette. It is Ada friendly also. But it's on Frankie's Etsy shop that you can get NJ Mason 1852. And I will do that one for Hewick. And then he'll be the last of the old maid, old bachelors, old geniuses that I have to stitch for. James and I were trying to think that I guess it's just not a thing as much anymore. We cannot think of hardly anybody. He has one relative that never did get married. And then he knew one guy at work one time that, I mean, is about our, you know, close to our age. But I don't guess that's as prevalent as it used to be, maybe. I don't know. Maybe because you can get a divorce nowadays, people, you know, think it, you ain't stuck with somebody forever. That's horrible, but I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any other reason what would have changed in between now and then. I mean, I don't. But yeah, I mean, he has one cousin that never has married, that's a little bit older than us, not much. And then he worked with that guy. And other than that, we were like, I don't know. I couldn't think of any of my cousins that, you know, had lived to adulthood that, you know, had never got married. I had a cousin that was killed when he was in his early 20s, and he had a you know, a significant other girlfriend. They weren't married, but he had, you know, he'd always had girlfriends, and they, of course, I'm assuming if he hadn't been killed, they would have got married. But they're just, that just doesn't happen. Maybe that doesn't happen as much anymore. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I did not work on my changing this yet. It's still in here. It's still finished, but I'm still trying to decide what to do with her name. And yeah, I made, which one y'all, Vicky? Maybe I will move her down here. Oh, and her daughter's birthday's on Easter this year. I've told y'all that happened to me one year when I was a little kid, and then I never did understand why it didn't happen. It took me forever. I mean, I was so much, several years to understand that Easter changes the date. That kind of stuff is confusing when you're a kid. And I didn't get started on this one. This is the one I'm stitching for Kimi. So I will try to start on this one today so that I can have it going, because I want to do one for Kimi and Cat. Aria is finished here, and then one for Cat. And then I'll have them in a little dough bowl with me all the time. So I didn't get started on that one. What else do we have here? What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I have not got my mail mailed yet, but I will go either today or tomorrow, depending on how Catch and I get to doing things here. Okay, Linda, we were talking about the boys eating so much that they got asked to leave, and we were talking about that buffet. And one of y'all said, oh, Paula, her husband is like 6 foot, and she said he weighs like 160 pounds, and he bet a friend of his he could gain over 10 pounds at a buffet, and he ate enough that he gained 11 pounds. He ate 11 pounds of food and drank 11 pounds of drink. Y'all, that's shocking to me. And that your stomach, but there are those professional eaters that can expand, can eat so much, and I just, wow. And yes, Linda, I guess they could have charged the guys twice, and they should have probably done that, at least made them pay for it 2 times, because they certainly were eating way more than 2 people eat. Because James Williams eats more than 2 people at a regular sitting. I mean, he should be like a rail. He should be starved looking if he ate like a normal person. But he doesn't just eat a double meat hamburger. He eats 2 double meat hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't want to eat 1 large order of fries. He wants to eat 2 large orders of fries. And like this. So any amount of food he eats entirely too much of it. He's like a glutton. He is a glutton. That is his major sin of choice. We all have ours. And that is definitely his. So I can't imagine how much more they ate than the normal people that came in that place on the regular. And Crafty Mom told me that Alabama, you have a 7 marriage limit. So any of y'all that are getting close and y'all, live in states that are limiting you on your happiness or your unhappiness, whichever way you want to look at it, you can go to Alabama if you're under 7 and take care of it right there. She said her former sister-in-law did max that out. Like I said, I think 4 or 5 is the max on my uncles. They're the ones what be pushing the limits. Which always, I don't know. Hope springs eternal though. We have a friend that James Williams just stays our friend so that when he dies, he can be the first. So that when James Williams dies, James Williams says, when I die, he's going to be the first one at the front door. I said, well, joke's on him. The door is locked. If you die tomorrow, if you get hit by a bus, if you whatever, there will never even be another male dog in this house, okay? My sons and grandsons will be the only males to be getting in the door because no. No. I just can't. But yeah, he teased me about that one, several friends of ours, but one especially. He's like, he don't care nothing about me. He just wants to stay in touch. So he knows he'll be first one here when I die. I'm like, joke's on him. Joke's on him. And Kathy Dennison said that they loved Fool Me Once too, and it was great. And then we found some other ones. So if you go look in Harlan Coben, there's a couple of other little mini series things of his that we've got saved in our to watch list now. Oh, okay, and Vicki, you did the fish petty. I have wondered about that. I've never known anybody that did it, where they the little fish nibble the dead skin off your feet, just like when they scrub it off and you get a petty. She said she'd do it again, although the sanitation aspect of it, she had to not think about that because she said I just couldn't decide if that was okay or not, and that would definitely be me. But, animals, their stomachs have enzymes and things that aren't in those scrub brushy things. So, I don't know that I could do that, but I have thought about it a million times. So I'm glad somebody I know actually did it and lived through it. Charles, yes, diabetes is horrible on people's feet. And so I have been making him let me look at his feet. And his toenail, he has amazing regenerative qualities. He's also somewhat like a cockroach. I'm pretty sure if we cut his head off, he'd still keep, going like this. So he ripped his toenail off and it is already growing back. I mean, you can see it's nearly half there. It's amazing to me. It is amazing to me. Like I said, if he was not his own worst enemy, he would be the healthiest person on the planet. So I hope my children got those good genes. Is that everything this week? Oh, shares from last week. I'm not doing too bad. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something I was going to say though. I didn't do any shopping this week. I'm kind of holed up in the house. Okay. Freedom from last week. Linda Norris 2869. If y'all will email me, niecylynn@yahoo.com. Flag goes to Beverly Bertolini. Beverly Bertolini 742. The bunny, yeah, this one's her bunny. Kathy McDonald 367. This is Kathy McDonald 367. I should hold these up closer so y'all can try to order them if you. This is Country Cottage Needleworks. It's been out for a little bit, but I still see people stitching it. So I had this one in my stash already, and one of y'all sent one to share that y'all had already stitched. So this one is so sweet. And I love that grass in there. And this is our Primrose Cottage. This one is definitely Ada friendly. It's stitched on Ada in the pick. And it is called Carrot Farm. I think you stitched this one. Did you stitch this one, Patty Pan? I think I know several of y'all have stitched it, but I think she was the last one I know has stitched it. And I think she sent this. Leslie O'Brien 6103. So you can see it is Carrot Farm. It is Ada friendly. And here's a little close up on the back of that little truck and the little rabbit. So cute. So cute. So those are the shares from last week. And I know several of y'all have emailed me, and I just have not, like I said, I did not get mail to the post office yet. So don't give up on me. I will get them done. This week was just not conducive to getting to the post office. We had a bunch last week though, because I had those 2 weeks, so I've got a big pile here. Then this week, I grabbed a few things here. Let's see. Sometimes I grab some, we just do them in the next couple of weeks. Let's see what we got here. Because it's probably fixing to be that way, here is, these are Little House Needleworks. This is Winter Wonderland. I'm gonna write this down here, LHN. Use the word winter. Can y'all see that? If you're interested in this one, so subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then use the keyword winter if you're interested in the share. This one is called Snowflakes by Little House Needleworks. Use the word snowflake. The girl I work with took some fascinating pictures on her phone of little, of the snowflakes we got. They really were big and beautiful. And then she closed up on them. And you could see, you know, how different each one of them was. Now this one, we're going to use the word lantern. Like I carry at night. It's called Christmas Lantern, but I just think it's wintry. I would change out the Noel for the year, okay? This is beautiful Twin Peaks Primitive Christmas Lantern. I would change the Noel out and just put the year and then display it all through the winter because I just feel like it is gorgeous. Of course, you could just leave it off also, but you put your initials in there or anything else. But look at that, is so pretty. I love that. So that's Twin Peaks Primitive Christmas Lantern. Use the word lantern. We may save that guy for another video. Let's see, we're kind of on a roll here. No, I guess we won't, because we're on a roll here of cold weather. I'm going to put this one in because somebody can get it finished by. This is Lizzie Kate, and it's called Love Crazy. Use the word love if you're interested. This is so sweet. Love Crazy by Lizzie Kate. Use the word love if you're interested in that one. So those will be our 4 shares this week. So subscribe, like, and use the keyword if you're interested in those. I'm trying to get my little thing going here. Got that there. Like I said, I'll get to the post office today or Saturday, just depending on how Catch and I get going, what we get doing. I don't think I have any new pictures of him this week. The girls went to Disney with their mama. I do have some of those. They made it halfway through their first homeschool year. So let me see if I can find the cutest picture. There they are. My girls. I think it was about a 2-hour drive. So they left out and went and spent 2 days at Disney and had a real good time. So, and then I don't guess I've seen y'all since. Did I tell y'all that baby how Kelby and Kelly did good at the show? And you can see the lambs with their fuzzy legs right there. And then he got his face painted like a little pirate while he was there. I thought I downloaded some of the show though, so you can see all the fuzzy legs and I told y'all that's a thing now. It wasn't a thing back in the day at all. Let me see if I can find some where you can see how fuzzy these leg hairs are. Okay, so you can see Bebe. You can see Kelby, not Bebe. You can see Kelby, and then you can see Bess, this little girl's lamb's legs right here. So Sharon there in Scotland, some of y'all that and show sheep in other states, but especially in other countries, is that a thing? See how that leg hair is all flared out? I don't know, I just found that amazing. But these are the big barns. Big giant barns that have the dorms up over them on the end that we would stay in. Here you can see them in this one too. Look at the leg hair on that thing. Look at the butt on that thing. It looks a great butt on it. But some of y'all chime in and let me know about that because I am curious. But I'm going to jump off here and try to get my stuff put up before Katya gets here and get all my stuff put away so he won't be tempted to be getting in it. But y'all have a happy Friday. Have a great weekend and enjoy your stitching. Bye.